Today we're talking about whiteboard etiquette, and what I mean by that is, as an athlete, what sort of things should you be posting on the whiteboard, when should you be posting, and why should you be posting? And I'll start with that third point, which is why should you be posting? Biggest reason actually has to do with your coaching staff. Oftentimes in a workout, we may not see where you finished up, what time you finished, how many rounds you did, or the weights you were using, and it helps us to see at the end of the workout how you performed in that particular session. It also helps the coaches from the other classes when they come in to see what has happened throughout the day, and for me as the head coach, the nights I come in or the days I've come in, I can see what's been happening and kind of keep an eye on our athletes and how they're progressing. So that's the biggest reason why. It really isn't about posting things for bragging rights, who finished first or who lifted the most weight. That oftentimes is irrelevant. It's exciting to see great times posted and so forth, but it's not about a competition or particular results, at least not here at our gym. We like to see how folks stack up and where they finish and so forth, and that can be an excellent motivator. So that's kind of a secondary reason why we post, certainly not the key reason. So on that note, I would encourage and suggest that everyone who comes in to do a workout should be posting some results on the whiteboard. This is kind of piggybacking on the article that Coach Lori posted on our blog just a couple of weeks ago. So if you haven't read that article, be sure to visit our blog and you can check that out. I'm also seeing that a lot of folks we have newer members and things have been kind of evolving and transpiring and just some kind of weird things showing up on the board. So this will help us to create kind of a common language just to understand what you should be writing and how you should be writing your scores and results. So we're also going to talk about what should you be posting and how do you go about posting that. So I'm going to give you an example of one workout we'll start with is the workout Helen, a CrossFit benchmark workout. Helen is a 3-round workout. It consists of a run times 400 meters. It's kettlebell swings times 21 reps at 53 pounds and 35 pounds. And it finishes with 12 pull-ups. In this workout, again, it's a 4-time workout. So our results would be reflecting a couple of things. One would be, what is your total workout time? And second is, did you do any kind of scaling to the workout? So let's give you an example of 3 different folks. I have Joe CrossFitter, Jane CrossFitter, and Bob. Let's say that Joe CrossFitter did this workout in 15 minutes. So we'll put his time on the board, yet he did not do it as prescribed. He used a band on his pull-ups, okay? So with that, rather than writing an RX next to name, even though he did the prescribed distance, he did the prescribed kettlebell swings and weight, but he scaled the workout in terms of the band. So we wouldn't write an RX, and that's one of the things I'm seeing commonly, which is folks will write RX, and then they'll put a slash, and then the color of band they use. So if you didn't do it RX, we just don't put that up there at all. We just put your time and what part of it did you scale. So for him, he used a blue band. So when I come in, I can see Joe CrossFitter, he did Helen. In 15 minutes, he used a blue band. Everything else he did RX. He did the distance and the swings RX. Let's look at Jane CrossFitter. Let's say Jane finished it in 12 minutes. So she would write her time on the board. And let's say that she did it RX. She did the run 400 meters, she swung a 35-pound kettlebell for 21 reps, and she did 12 unassisted pull-ups. So next to Jane, she's going to write RX. All right? And RX means, and that's the only time we put it up there's no scaling whatsoever done. Then we put an RX next to the results. Then we have Bob, and let's say that Bob also finished in 12 minutes. However, Bob scaled down on the kettlebell swing. He did a 45-pound kettlebell instead of 53. So again, we wouldn't put an RX on there. We would just put slash, and we would put a 45 pounds next to his name. So that tells me when I walk in, I can quickly see what the times were, what the results were, and how they scaled. One thing I want to mention here is this RX, right? So one of the things I want to make sure everybody is clear on is that the RX is simply a suggestion. It is not a requirement. Those are the numbers, the weights, the ways that we write things that the workout in particular that our upper end athletes or the upper end of CrossFit athletes in general would be doing the workout. Everyone else is going to be some sort of scaling. You may be a person that for various reasons will never be able to do some of the workouts as prescribed, and it's really not a big deal. Again, I don't want folks to think that this is an expectation and that you're somehow less than if you're not doing things RX. It is simply a suggestion. Okay, let's move on to another example. Let's talk about an AMRAP workout. which is an AMRAP is as many rounds as possible, rounds and reps. And let's just make it, it's going to be swings times 20 and box jumps times 20 also. And it's going to be in 10 minutes. All right, and this is at 24 and 20. And the swings were also at 53 and 35. Okay, with this, everyone's going to get through the time most likely. If you happen to scale the time, you would just make a note of that on the board. On the swings, again, if you did any scaling, you would just write next to your name, your time, the number of rounds and reps you completed, and you would write that you scaled the swings, or if you use a smaller size box, you would note that. But let's talk about how you write your results for this one. Let's use Joe again and Jane. And to make it easy, let's just say they both did this RX. Sometimes when we have people write their results up, and they will write they did 4 rounds, and then they'll write that they did 20 swings, and then they'll write that they did 4 box jumps, right? And it's not necessary. To make it quick and simple, you don't have, it's implied that if you did 4 box jumps, it's implied that you did the swings already. So don't worry about writing all that. Just put your 4 rounds, and then you would put plus 4 box, right? Plus 4 box jumps. Then we know exactly what you did. Same thing with Jane. Let's say that she finished up, and let's say she did, and we could also here write RX, right? Write RX next to Joe's name. I think that explains that one well enough. And then finally, let's talk about if it is a workout that involves weight. So we're doing a squat, 1 rep max, all right? Next to your name, you're just going to write your name on the board. Again, we have Jane. And let's say that she did 200 pounds that day, all right? So she's just going to write 200 pounds. Again, keep it pretty simple, pretty brief. If it is another workout for weight, let's say it is a 5 times 1, all right? What I would like to see Jane do is to write up on the board every set how much weight she used. Maybe she got to 210, and so on. So for all 5 sets, you would write next to your name the weight you used, and that's pretty much it. Sometimes we will do a 2-part workout at our gym. We'll do a strength component. That happens often. Then we'll do a conditioning component. So going forward, I'd like to see that if we're doing a strength component, that everyone's going to post their strength results on the board and their conditioning results. Again, I think that kind of summarizes and gives us a clear understanding. If you do have questions on this, I'm going to talk to the coaching staff and make sure we're working with folks and kind of get this back on track for everyone. Just again, it's creating a common language, helping your coaching staff to understand where things are going, and also that you have a clear understanding that you too should be posting all of your results on the board. Again, if you have any questions, just ask your coaches or shoot us an email, leave us a comment, and we'll be sure to get back to you right away. Thanks for watching.